Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'll be doing a solo playthrough of Sleeping Gods. This is a continuation of my Season 1 of playing through the entire Sleeping Gods campaign. This is episode number 6, and this episode will heavily feature the Tides of Ruin expansion because we are starting off in the underworld. Let's get rolling. Alright, so I'm ready to play the first episode of Act 3 of my Sleeping Gods playthrough, and I'm hoping Act 3 will be in 3 parts. But overall, this is episode 6 of Season 1 of my Sleeping Gods playthrough series, leaving the door open to play a Season 2 someday. But if you are just joining me today, episode 1 is really the place to start. You don't want to start here. So I'll put a link on the screen where you can jump to episode 1 and get all caught up before you come back here. And I'll just point out that today we will be heavily exploring the Tides of Ruin expansion. So we're just starting in Act 3, so I've just recently discarded all of the equipped ability cards. There's a pretty big stack here, the Fate cards, so it'll be a while before we can get any of those cards cycled back. I do have a 1 Fate card in hand that I wouldn't mind equipping, probably to Gregory, as soon as I can, so I can get it out of the deck and have it equipped for the rest of the game. But overall, everybody's in pretty good shape. I've got 1 fatigue on Captain Odessa, a low morale on Marco and Raphael. Raphael also has my 1 damage marker of any of my characters, as well as weakness. So at the end of Act 2, I used the gate stone to come here to the Isle of Souls, and we checked it out, and we met the ghost girl Sancha, and that's what I mostly want to do first. That's my my first ongoing adventure here. Merc is that keyword. We want to find her father who left in a boat. And as I was thinking about it more, knowing that he left in a boat and sailed east, I think he's probably down here at location R46. So I think my plan early on is going to be to sail over here. I'll probably have to take that strength test because I've lost my ability cards on Audrey. It's going to be pretty hard for me to get a 9+ on my travel action. But I'll come down here, probably explore 46 first and then 72 since I'm there. And then assuming that we find Sancha's father, that may lead to some sort of branching story that puts me in another direction. But I also want to come this way. I kind of want to explore everything here, if I'm being honest, just to check it out while I'm here. But I want to come over to this area with the big towers in the very east, because that's where this passenger, whose name is Drusiana, she said she was over here. This is her quest, Pachyderm, and there was I want to say a giant gold-tusked elephant creature of some sort that has the rest of her crew. So we kind of want to find out what's going on there. It's going to be somewhere in this area. I think she said the biggest tower, so probably here in 77, but I'm not sure about that. So I wouldn't mind sailing around this whole thing. And what else? Yeah, then we'll probably just come back around this way, try and hit these last locations, and then get back out. I don't know if I'll do all that today. That might take a couple episodes. I expect to go through 6 event cards today, 6 turns. And how many places have I not explored yet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that would be all of my actions from 5 of the 6 cards, plus I'm going to need to travel in there. So I'm definitely not getting to all that today, but I would like to just keep running around this page because it looks super cool. And so I've only got 1 ongoing event here that's carried over, and look at this. I can put it up on the screen like this now because I've got a new setup, a new rig. So let me know what you think. I hope you like it. It's kind of freaking me out a little bit though, because in order to set it up, I had to move my whole table 4 feet closer to the wall. So I'm like backed into a little corner now. So I feel very claustrophobic, even though everything looks the same. But anyway, this event is ongoing. So we cannot go to the galley, which is fine because the galley is all busted anyway. We can't get into the galley. So let's start this first turn, and I'm going to move to the bridge because I have a lot of command tokens. I've got 3 on the gate stone. I've got 3 on the stone of fitness. Got 1 each on the gemstone goggles and the amulet of the fox. So I've got 1 on the pan shield. I have got a ton of command out there. None on my characters as far as I can see, but I wanted to clear all that. And then I'm going to gain 2 command plus 1 for Laurent's ability. So I've got 3 command. The rest of this goes away. And I also draw an ability card. And let's do that over here. All right, so it's got a 4 fate, costs 2 command to equip. It has the perception icon, and you can discard this equipped card to remove a low morale. I don't have much interest in that. So I'll probably take this into hand and get rid of this cunning one, because I feel like cunning tests I use the least. And if I had to do a cunning test, at least Captain Odessa's got 1 card equipped. Nobody has a perception card equipped. During Act 2, Kasumi had one, but she lost it because it was an ability card and not a level card. So I think that's got some utility. Then I've got these 3 command. Before I draw an event, do I want to spend any command? I was thinking about doing first aid kit. I could get rid of this 1 damage on Raphael and get rid of weakness finally. And then I was also thinking about equipping bandage for 2, but let's put that on the screen. Bandage, instant effect, restore 2 health to this crew member. I don't have any crew members who need that health, and I want to equip it because it's a savvy card. I want to equip it to either Gregory or Laurent, and probably Gregory because I want him more specialized because Laurent has so many other icons there. He's a little bit more of a generalist. So I kind of want Gregory to have 2 damage before I equip it. I don't know if that's nonsense. Might be a little silly, but I'll probably, thinking about my turn, I'll probably travel and then explore. And when I explore, it'd be good to use the cookbook, cook while exploring. I guess that just gives me a bunch of extra health though, and I don't need the health. But I would like to make this recipe maybe get some fatigue off, although I've only got 1 fatigue. I was thinking it would get a morale off as well. I would like to get the low morale off Marco because the low morale, let me show you this. Low morale, when you do a challenge with this character, you have to pay 1 command. And Marco is my strength guy, and strength comes up kind of regularly, so I don't want to have to pay a command to use him in a challenge. Especially looking at this, the challenge here is a strength challenge. Otherwise we get boat damage, and that could be a real problem. So, okay, I am not going to equip bandage right now. And I guess I'm not going to use first aid kit either. I've only got 3 command. Let me hold on to it. Let's draw our first event. And we get timber traders. A huge barge loaded with timber approaches. You may pay 1 coin to buy 2 materials. And you know what? I think I'm actually going to do that because I've got a few coins and I don't really think I need to go to the market much. I'm doing okay on equipment, on adventure cards. I've acquired plenty of those now through just adventuring. So when I go to port, I can spend either a coin or a materials to repair a boat damage. So I'm going to turn 1 coin into 2 materials, so that'll repair 2 boat damage later. Because I am a little nervous about boat damage. I've already lost the galley, which I wasn't really using, but I've got 1 hit on the bridge, and I really need the bridge to not get damaged. That would be kind of catastrophic. So I'll take those materials and then discard this event card. And man, that was a pleasant event compared to the deadly events from the last video. So now it's time for actions, and I think I'm going to move. So just need to figure out here, this is where I'm going. There's going to be a strength test, a 5. I have to pay a command to use Marco. He can give me 2. I'd have to pay a command to use Raphael as well. So I don't know if I really want to use either of them. Alternatively, I could pay a command to cook a recipe to get rid of the low morale, but it's that I'm paying a command either way. So I'd rather do the recipe later, because if I use them in a challenge, then I'll fatigue them, and then I'll get more value out of my recipe later by removing the fatigue. So, okay, I'm going to travel, and I'm not going to use anybody. I'm not going to fatigue Audrey. I'm just going to draw a card, and we get, what is our fate number? 4. Oh, that's a cool card. I don't remember that one. Discard this equipped card to skip an event. Wow, that's neat. But anyway, we get a 4, so we can move up to 2 spaces. So I will do that. I will move 1 space. We go here. And now we've got to do this strength test of 5. And I guess I do have a strength card I could discard. So I would need to draw a 4 or higher. Oh, I've got nightmare gloves as well. Oh, but that would gain me another low morale. I don't need a 3rd low morale. Oh, but I forgot crack shot on Kanan. The last thing I did at the end of last game was equip crack shot, the level card, to Kanan, which gives him another strength. He's got 2 strength. This would get me to 3. So I'd only have to draw a 2 or higher if I'm willing to discard this card in my hand. So Kanan is my guy. Let's see what we get. We draw a 2. So that's okay. Kanan's got 2. This gives us another 2. And then I'll discard this to get to 5. And now we have passed the challenge. So we don't need to take boat damage. That is really important. All right, that's the end of travel. Second action, I am exploring. And I am definitely exploring R46, and my injuries are still really low, so I'm not going to cook while exploring now, but I might cook before coming back to the boat. Let's read R46 and see what happens. But it definitely looks really cool, these odd sort of arcs that are coming out of the water. They almost look like they're constructed out of big pipes, but I'm really interested to find out more. So let's go to R46, which reads, constructed archways stand like skyscrapers in dark waters. As the ship nears one of the archways, an eerie singing begins softly, growing louder every moment until a horde of specters appear like a cloud around the arch. This place truly is hellish, says Raphael, gawking out the bridge windows. So we have two options. We can sail through the nearest arch or try to sail around the archways. And there's not a skill test associated with each, so you know what? Let's sail through the nearest arch. That sounds kind of cool. I don't care what the specters say. I want to do it. So 82.1 reads, Laurent turns to port, directing the manticore toward the archway. The singing grows unbearably loud, rattling windows and chains. So we have two options now. Withstand the singing, that is a strength test of 10, or attempt to communicate with the spirits, a savvy test of 12. That sounds really cool. But a savvy test of 12 sounds like a big test. I don't have anything equipped. And I don't have a good way to get savvy over here either. I've just got this one card in hand, which I kind of wish was equipped now. But 12, huh? So I could fatigue certainly Gregory and Laurent. That would get me to 4. Who else? I can do Kasumi and Mac. That would get me to 6. I could double fatigue Captain Odessa and Kanan. That would get me to 8. Boy, that's a big commitment. But I guess it would give me a reason to cook a recipe at that point. Yeah, if we fail the test, we lose 7 health and gain 2 madness. I really don't want the madness. I'm less concerned about the health. So you know what? Let's go fatigue crazy. We're going to get 1 savvy, 2 savvy, 3 savvy, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, we're up to 8 savvy. Let's see if we draw 4 or higher. 3. Oh, man. That is not a great thing to draw because that gets me to 11, and so I can get to 12 by discarding this 1 card, but I really don't want to get rid of a 1. So would I rather pay a command to redraw a card? Seems risky, but I do have a few ways to redraw a card. So it kind of feels like a wasted command, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to have Thrusiana help us out. We're going to draw a new fate card. And oh no, it's a 2. That's even worse. So now I can't even spend the card that I have in hand. Oh man. We're going to see if Sancha the Ghost can help us. It's a bad use of command. We've got a 5. Okay, I'll take a 5. So that gets us up to 13 savvy. We passed the test. We don't have to take 7 damage and 2 madness. I suppose it was a decent use of command to avoid 2 madness, but probably would have been better just spend 2 command to equip this before I got into the challenge to begin with. That's what I get for trying to over-optimize. So anyway, we passed the test. We're going to turn to another paragraph. So as a reminder, we were attempting to communicate with the spirits as we sailed under the arch. And so we've passed the test, and that reads, the spirits grow quiet and listen as you pass through the arch. A few of them float to the deck and leave baskets of fish. So we gain 3 meat and 4 coins. There's a 5. I'll make change. So here's our 3 meat. That's a lot of meat. Thanks for all the fish. I've got 5 meat now. There is a component limit, I think, of 6. So I want to spend some of that. And we get a materials. All right, so we've got 3 materials now, so we can take care of a lot of our boat damage, and 3 XP. So let's get our tracker out here. I'm going to start a new line because this is all crossed out. We've used all that, so we've got 1, 2, 3 XP to spend. Cool. And now we would return to the ship. So before we go back to the ship, do I want to use the Alzarian cookbook, which it did not occur to me until later that Alzaria was the city that we visited in the south in the last video. That's where the cookbook was from. So Alzaria, famous for its cookbooks and zoos, apparently. Not sure if the two are related in some way. Do I want to cook a recipe? I think I do. I'm going to cook with the cookbook the grilled fish and... Well, wait a minute. You know what? I might cook the soup think I'm actually going to do the soup way up there. Yeah, because that takes just 3 ingredients of any type. And using the cookbook, I need 1 fewer. I'm going to do 2 meat since I've got this abundance of meat. And that way, grilled fish doesn't go to waste, I guess. I guess that doesn't make any sense. I'm going to get the same thing either way. I'll just do grilled fish. Spend 1 meat. And now I can clear 3 fatigue. So I'll get 1 off the captain and 1 off Kanan for sure. And then the third one, it's got to be either Gregory or the captain. And I'm going to go with the captain because she's more likely to do some attacking. And when she attacks, I don't want her to have this, -1 damage. So we might get a cunning test. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to clear the morale from Marco. Using, again, grilled fish. So that way I can use him for strength tests instead of Kanan so he can keep his fighting damage up. And then I regain up to 3 health from the card, +2 for outdoor cooking gear, +1 for Baker. But I've only got 1 damage, so I'll take this off Raphael. So for the cost of 1 meat, get back 3 fatigue, a low morale, and 1 health. So considering the abundance of meat that I had, I think that was a pretty decent thing to do. Still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fatigue out there. I might want to cook another recipe, sometime soon. But that was it for that turn. We traveled and we explored. We'll reset the die here. And we're going to start the next turn with a ship action. And I'm going to go to quarantine. That's not quarantine, that's quarters. Remove 2 command tokens. So I'm going to take 1 off the Elzarian cookbook. And I'll take 1 off of Sancha. And now I gain 3 command tokens. So we'll put these here. And what else? I need to draw 1 ability card. Come on, there we go. Draw an ability card. This one's going to my hand. We have a 4, and it's perception. It only costs 1 to equip. I kind of want to have it, but I think I'm going to, I'll keep it on hand. It's a good one to discard. I would still rather equip bandage. And you know what? It's silly for me to wait for Gregory to have 2 injuries. I don't know how long that might take. I'm going to spend 2 command. I'm going to equip bandage now. So now I can hold 1 more of those cards in hand. So we've got an open slot here, and hopefully I can get some 1s and equip them. And it might not be a bad idea. At the end of this turn, we'll see how things are going. I might use that last command on Gloria to draw a couple of cards, see if I can get some 1s out of that deck. So next we need to draw an event card. Let's see what we've got. We have Crew Argument. Bruised egos lead to heated words. Calm the crew members. A cunning test of 5 if you fail -2 health. I'm not committing fatigue to this. I don't care. 2 health is not a big deal to me at this point in the game. So let's draw Fate. We get a 4. So not high enough. We've got to lose 2 health. Nobody was committed to that test, so I can put the 2 health on anybody. And don't I feel stupid now because I could have put it on Gregory and then healed it with bandage. Oh man. Well, what's going on Raphael then? He's the shield right now, the human shield. So now we can take 2 actions. Let's just slide our boat over here. We're not moving, but I'm kind of disappointed we didn't find Sancha's father at R46. So I'm going to start by exploring R72. Let's take an exploration action. So this paragraph says, if keyword holler, turn to 72.3. We don't have keyword holler, so we will continue on. A man slides down a slate ledge, sprinting toward you when he sees you on shore. I'm so relieved to see people from the surface. I'm in desperate need. My fiancée entered a strange sphere made of darkness. Why in the world did she do that? Actually, looking at the map now, I bet that's what I was kind of wondering what that feature was. I guess that's a sphere of darkness that this man's fiancée entered for some reason. Maybe it seemed like a better alternative than marrying this guy. I don't know. But let's keep going. She hasn't come out for days. I sent others in after her, but they disappeared as well. Man, why did you do that? I'm afraid if I enter, I won't be able to make it back. The people you already sent in didn't return, and you expect us to do the same? Max scoffs. So we can agree to investigate the sphere or wish him luck but decline. I mean, I feel like it would be a terrible idea to go over there, but I might not ever be on this page again, and I want to find out what happens. So I think we're going to agree, but before we do that, I'm going to do another recipe before I continue. So let's use the cookbook, And I don't have any health, so it doesn't matter. I'll do grilled fish again. So I'm going to spend 1 meat to remove 1 low morale. So I take that and remove 3 more fatigue. And so I think I'm going to take 1 off, probably Gregory. And who else? I think Laurent would be a good choice. And let's see, what tests might I get? I'm either going to take the fatigue off Kasumi or Kanan. They both have cunning and savvy, but Kasumi has a perception and Kanan has 2 strength. I guess I'll go with the 2 strength. And hope I get a strength test and not a perception test. So, all right, we've done our cooking. Oh, I do have some health damage though, so I can remove these 2 from Raphael. That's good. So, okay, we're telling this guy, we'll help you out with this crazy sphere, but not before we fill our stomachs. So now that we do that, we agree to investigate the sphere. We turn to another paragraph, which reads, you follow him for an hour through a slate canyon. The sphere of shadow floats above a sandy ledge, fingers of darkness swirling over the surface of the orb. Oh gosh, this only gives us 2 options. One of them is turn back, return to the ship, and the other is just enter the sphere and then turn to another paragraph. There's not a skill test or anything. We're just going to go in. I suspect we'll need a skill test to get out, but let's keep going. We're already here, so let's read the next section. As you step into the orb, gray clouds surround you. You immediately turn around and walk back the way you came, but the clouds are endless. You walk a bit faster, breaking into a sprint, but you cannot escape. A dewy mist clings to your clothes as you wade through it, unable to see. After what feels like an hour, the clouds part, and you find yourself and the entire crew on a sun-bathed rock. Below you, the clouds swirl around the rock like the eye of a storm. Don't go back in, says Gregory, grabbing your arm as you reach out to the swirling mist. You'll wander for another hour before making it back here. Nearby, you spot a young woman with white hair and a group of sailors around a pitiful fire. Bring any food? Asks one of the sailors, his eyes drooping as you shake your head. No, sorry, man. We just ate it before we came in. The woman with white hair stands up, walking toward you. I know my fiancé sent you in here for me, but we've tried everything to get out. It's impossible. Wow, we have a lot of options now. So, 5 options. Let's run through them. We can run as fast as you can through the gray mist to try and escape. I suspect that'll just bring us right back to where we are. We can throw a message in a bottle through the mist. I think that'll probably sit there and do nothing. We can command the crew to walk in a counterclockwise direction around the edge of the mist, touching it with 1 hand. That's interesting. We can make a human chain and walk through the mist. Or we can command the crew to make as much noise as possible. So I'm thinking not run as fast as you can, not throw a message in a bottle through the mist, not make as much noise as possible. I'm leaning towards human chain, and if that doesn't work, kind of leaning towards command the crew to walk in counterclockwise direction around the edge of the mist, touching it with 1 hand. That sounds very specific. It said it was swirling like the eye of the storm, and I think that is generally a clockwise swirl. This kind of looks... So swirling clockwise, so like going against the storm. I don't know if that's a clue or not. But let's start with make a human chain and walk through the mist. So we need to turn somewhere else. So this new section reads, the crew links arms. The girl with the blonde hair and the other sailors join in, and you carefully step into the mist. Nervous mumbling from behind touches your ears, but you press forward. Soon, the clouds part, and you've reached the underworld again. Not long after, the rest of the crew emerges from the dark sphere behind you, and the man who asked for your help jumps up in surprise. When he sees the girl with blonde hair, he rushes to her, tears in his eyes. I thought I'd never see you again, he says. She holds him. I'm all right, a little hungry, but we're okay. The other sailors, now free, scramble away from the sphere down a stony path. The reunited couple gives you a small bag. As you peek inside, the couple and the sphere of shadows fade, melting away until nothing's left. Raphael staggers back. What the devil? Oh, so they weren't even here at all to begin with? What in the world is happening? Well, we're going to gain 5 coins, 2 artifacts, and 2 grain, and 2 XP. So that's 5 XP. I've got a lot of XP so far. I can level somebody. And gain quest 217, and then return to the ship. So let's put my goodies away. Man, I've got 4 artifacts. Oh, wow, look at all this stuff I've got. I am rich. I've got 11 coins, 2 vegetables, 3 meat, 4 artifacts, 2 grain, 3 materials. This is wild. And quest 127, which reads, Strange Sphere. Here's keyword holler. We helped a woman escape a sphere of shadows, but then she and her fiance disappeared. Yep, that's a thing we did. Maybe I'll put that down here just because I don't want to reach all the way up there right now. I don't suspect we'll need that again. But yeah, that was a wild ride. So that was our exploration action. We've got another action we can take. I suppose we're going to travel because we've explored these 2 places. So I was really thinking we would find Sancha's father in one of these locations. So we're just going to keep going this way towards this other pachyderm quest. So I'm going to move for my second action. I'm going to travel, and I will fatigue Audrey. So that gives me a minimum of 4 craft for the test here. So no matter what I draw, I can move at least 2 spaces. I can get to here. If I happen to draw a 5 or higher, then that'll get me to a total of 9, and I can enter this space without taking boat damage or without having to do the savvy challenge first. So I'm at 4. I'm going to draw, and no matter what, I can go 2 spaces. So if I can get 9 or higher, I'll go here to here. Otherwise, I'll go here to here, do some exploring, and then I'll try my hand at the travel action again. So let's draw our fate number. We got a 5. Hey, how about that? So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're at 9, so we can go up to 4 spaces and ignore the whatever these are, hazards. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and stop there. Because we can always hit these places. I guess I'll sail around back to here later. I'll explore here next because this was our travel action. It's gonna be the end of the turn. We'll explore 77 here, see what that does, and then I'll sail around the back and then come here, which then I can explore these locations and kind of work my way back over to the Isle of Souls that way. So that worked out all right. That was the end of that turn. It's time to start a new turn with a ship action, and I'm in good shape with pretty much anything. So the only thing I need more of is command. So I'm going to go back to the bridge, remove all command tokens. So 1 on the cookbook, 1 on Thrusiana, and that's it. And then I'm going to gain 2 + 1 command. So here's a third. Man, I wish I had that ability card that would give me command when I explore. I would like that again. So I've got 3 command. Oh, and I draw an ability card, and this one it's a 4 for the craft. I don't really need that at all, but I guess I'll hold on to it. And let's do the event, and then before I do anything else, I might use Gloria to try and pull some other cards out of here that I might want to actually equip. So we have, for our event, Choppy Seas. White waves crash against the hull. When you travel this turn, -2 to fate. Well, I'll have to keep this active, but I think it'll be okay. Well, I guess we're going to explore, and then we do want to travel. We only want to go 1 space, so I probably don't need to fatigue Audrey, but that means if I draw a 1 or just a 1, if I draw a 1 and then apply -2, I'll be at -1. You need at least 0 to travel 1 space. But I guess in that instance, I could burn this card I just got. So I guess that's fine. So that means I want to hold on to this for a minute. We'll hold off on the Gloria thing. So we're going to start with an explore action. I don't think I'm going to spend command on anything else before exploring. So let's check out R77. And I have a hunch this will be pachyderm, that this is where this golden tusked elephant creature is going to be, and I am expecting we'll have to fight it when we find it, so we may have some combat. So I turn to this paragraph in the book, and it says, if keyword pachyderm, turn to R77.5. And of course, we do have pachyderm. So I guess let me grab it. Let me remind you what we're doing since I have it here. This is Thrusiana's crew. We met a woman in Isle of Souls named Thrusiana. We promised to help her rescue her crew from an elephant with golden tusks. She said they're in the Dark Tower to the east, but she can't remember exactly where. So that's what we're doing. That's why we have Thrusiana here. We picked her up at the Isle of Souls. She is a passenger on our boat. All right. Oh, and look at that mess. I'm not going to be able to live with that. Okay, good enough. So this one's a little lengthier, but it reads, the ancient stairs and cyclopean walls stand hundreds of feet in height. Thrusiana guides you into the citadel with a bored confidence. She seems too familiar with the unearthly place. You find a small camp in one of the hallways. Canvas tents surround a dead fire pit, and boxes of supplies, including explosives, sit on the far edge. This was our camp when we came here before, Drusiana sighs impatiently. Come on, we don't have time to mess around here. She leads you to a great hall lined with columns as tall as skyscrapers. You hide in the shadows of one of the columns and examine the room. At its far end, a dejected crew sits within dirty metal cages. That's them, says Audrey. Suddenly, a tremor runs through the ground and up the columns. A huge elephant enters the hall, slamming the ground with titanic legs. In the eerie lighting, you catch glimpses of its 4 curved tusks, multitude of green eyes, and necrotic skin. The elephant opens a cage with its trunk, grabbing one of the crew members and stuffing him into a wide mouth before anyone can even blink. Only the hint of a shriek escapes before the elephant swallows the man whole. Audrey gasps, and Raphael curses. The crew watches the gruesome scene, unable to move, unable to speak. You're not sure whether to run or stay put when Drusiana steps from the shadows, waving at the elephant. I've brought more presents for you, Slovalul, she calls out. They're hiding behind this pillar. Raphael shouts in rage. She tricked us. Matt closes her eyes, her expression falling. How did I let this happen? Oh man, so we can hide from the elephant and try to free the prisoners. That's a perception test of 12. We can use the explosives that were left behind to try and topple a column so that it falls on the elephant. That is a craft test of 13. I am not really ready for a perception test of 12 or a craft test of 13. It's unfortunate that I got here right after the end of an act and I have no ability of cards equipped, or just the one on Gregory now. But yeah, I'm in a rough spot for tests. So option 3 is attack the elephant, and this is a huge combat, a level 24 combat. So let me just show you what the original rulebook even says about combat here. There's difficulty levels. 18 to 22 is deadly. This one is a 24, so it's off the chart for the original game. Of course, this is from the expansion, but this is going to be a real big one. But you know what? I'm in really good shape. I'm in great health. I've got no damage. I've got a couple fatigue. Let's go for it. It's never going to be better than this. You know, if for no other reason than I want to see what this elephant looks like, but the artwork's going to be really cool. So we need combat cards 14, 16, 71, and 90. So we're going to shuffle these up. Biggest combat I've probably ever been in playing a Sleeping Gods game, if I had to guess. And without, looking at anything. So this is really going to beat me up. I do need to grab a couple command because of Captain Odessa's level card. So I'll have 5 command going into this combat. I'm sure I'm going to need it. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's see what we get. Burning Eye, Slovalul, Infested Eye, and Enraged. Is that just an attribute? I don't know. Slovalul is level 11 by itself. All right, so I just experienced one of the worst power outages that I have ever had while recording a video. Not that any is ever good, but it happened when I was in the middle of this combat, and that was a real pain because I lost some footage, and I've just had to go back and reset it now. So the only things I've had to do, I've gone back and reset this discard pile to where it was, but I knew what the top cards of this deck were now. So I'm shuffling the Fate deck. And what else? Oh, I took the 2 command for Captain Odessa's level card. So I've got that. So I've got 5 command I need to use, and I'm going to give this another go. Kind of frustrating because it was a big sequence here, but we're going to try again. So this is who I'm fighting. We've got a couple flying enemies, and this enraged card, actually, you can see it does a lot of damage here, but the elephant's, of course, the big one that we got to watch out for. It can do 12 damage right now, which is a lot, and it has 12 health. So I want to get hit by that thing as few times as possible. And so I think I'm going to try and attack these 2 eyes and do splash damage onto the elephant to cover up what I can without having to hit it directly, but then I am going to have to really go for that elephant. So I think what I might do is I might start with Odessa, have her attack this infested eye, do 4 damage, cover up these 2 damage on the top, and then 1, 2 here, these top 2 on the elephant to cover up the madness and the 3 damage spot, which is just, that one's a real issue, right? And then she'll get attacked back for 2, she'll block 1, she'll take 1 damage, that's fine. Then I'll give her synergy token, I think, to Kanan. And I'll have Kanan attack this burning eye, maybe? Actually, I don't know. I don't know who I'm going to give that to, but Odessa's going to go first. She'll hit this eye. She'll cover these 4. I think I want Kanan to go as well. He can hit this eye and do 3 damage and do 1, 2. And he might just cover this afraid effect here to get his synergy token on somebody else. And that way, at least I've covered a few things over here. And he'll take 3 damage. He'll block 1. That's kind of okay. But man, I don't know. I almost wonder about just having Laurent, Kasumi, and Audrey go, and just to get all their synergy tokens and like give them all to Captain Odessa so she can do one turn of 7 damage, against this elephant. I don't know if I can pull that off. How would I do that? None of the 3 of them have ranged weapons, so it'd be hard to have them do attack the eyes and then do splash damage to the elephant that way. I am kind of wishing back in the previous episode when I was talking to Thrusiana, she's kind of walking around, not in her right mind at Isle of Souls. I had the option to rob her, and I wish I had done that now. I should have just robbed her blind. Yeah, maybe I have Laurent attack this enraged card, assume he's going to miss, and he'll just put 1 damage on one of these damage markers, and he'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage back. He'll block 2 of it. Oh, but if he misses, he'll get attacked for 6. -2 is 4. He'll still be alive, actually. But in the event he does get a hit, he can cover one of these damages and a heart. And then if I have Audrey attack the same one, maybe she should attack the eye. She could do 1, 2, 3, 4, like I was talking about before. And then if she misses, she can just cover the 1 damage. Kasumi, and her accuracy is so high, I would hate to have her attack anything but the elephant. But if she does, she'll definitely get knocked out. But maybe I have her attack the elephant. Oh, but I'd like her to do 3 damage on the token. That's not going to happen. So she would, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't think this plan makes sense. I need to save Kasumi. I need to save my 4 accuracy people, and she's the only one with 4 accuracy and 3 damage. To hit these 3 spots. I can't afford to miss on this elephant. I can do these somehow. Have Laurent attack here, get a synergy token. Have Audrey attack, I guess, here, and get a synergy token one way or another, but hopefully do splash damage. Give both of those to Odessa. Have her do 4, 5, 6 damage. I'll have to definitely get some accuracy on the elephant. And with 6, she can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get a synergy token that way. And give it maybe to Kanan. Have him attack this one and just do the weakened, the 3 damage, and on a diagonal, this one. And then I'll take a bunch of damage still in the counterattack round. Oof, I don't know, there's just, man, I need so much accuracy. This is going to be really hard. I knew that, but yeah, it's going to be really hard. Maybe, you know what, maybe I should focus, maybe I should think about using Marco's ability here. Do 2 damage to not hearts. I don't know. I've been going back and forth debating this a long time, and I just need to make a move. I'm starting with Laurent. I don't expect him to hit, but he's going to attack this enraged one. He's got 0 accuracy. He needs to get to 5. Let's draw a fate card. Oh man, we got a 6. Okay, so he does get a hit. He's going to do 2 damage. I don't know if that's where I wanted my 6, but that's okay. So I'd kind of already resigned myself to missing. But we'll go here, get the synergy token, and then might as well do the 1 damage. That's fine. We're going to give that to Captain Odessa. Okay, now this thing fights back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He blocks 2, so 3 hits. Okay. So he's still around. I'm going to have Audrey go next. I'd rather have her draw the 6. But she's going to attack this infested eye. She only has 1 accuracy, and this is flying. It's not a ranged weapon, so she needs to draw at least a 4 to get to 5. She needs to get to 5. She has 1. Let's draw fate. She draws, another 6. Okay. Things are happening. She does 4 damage to this infested eye. So she's going to go 1 right here to get a synergy token, 2, cover up that damage, and then 2 more splash damage, 1 here. And do I want to do the tusks or do I want to do the trunk? I've got to do the tusks. Okay, so she gets a synergy token. She's passing that to Odessa as well. Now, the question is, am I going to go for Kasumi as well? I think I am. And you know what? It's really going to hurt. I'm going to have her attack the elephant. I'm going to have her do these 2 here, and then 1 splash damage to cover that 3 damage on the burning eye. And she'll get her synergy token from that frightened one there. So she needs to get to 7. She's at 4. She's got to draw a 3 or higher. She gets a 3. Okay. Things are still happening. So she does 3 damage to the elephant. She'll hit the legs. She'll hit the head, get a synergy token, and then splash damage the burning eye, cover that 3 damage. So she gets to put her synergy token somewhere. It's going to Captain Odessa. And this part's going to be not so fun. She gets hit back for 5, 6, 7, 8, and she has no block. So Kasumi is out. And I need to put 3 damage somewhere else. And I think that's going on Marco, because I don't know if he's going to do anything in this combat with his 1 accuracy and 1 damage. So now I've got 1 block left before the end of the round. I don't think I'm going to use my Stone of Fitness, because I've only got 5 tokens. That takes 3. And I think I'm going to want them on accuracy later. So this now goes to Odessa. Having her attack the elephant. So she has 1. She needs to get to 7. So let's hope she draws a 6. Otherwise, I'm going to be using some equipment here. But 6 would be great. 1. Okay, that is the opposite of great. I think before I use any accuracy stuff over here, I'd be better off just redrawing. I can't use Kasumi's ability because she's out now. Let's use Thrusiana since... she owes me, so let's draw something else. A 4, okay. So that gets me up to 5 total. I need to get to 7. So I'll use another command on the gemstone goggles. Whoopsie, there we go. That gets me to 7. So I've got enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need 7. So I'm going to do my base 4 damage plus another 3. So that's 7 damage plus... I'll use a command here to get an 8th damage at the cost of 1 health. And I did look that up at some point. You are allowed to combine it. So 8 damage. I'm going to go straight across the bottom of this elephant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know if I've ever hit anything that hard in this game ever. We did not get a synergy token, but I think we might just survive this fight. So it's going to be 5 plus 1, 6 damage. She's going to block 1, so she needs to take 5 hits. She's only got 4 health left. So Odessa's out. That really hurts, and 1 damage needs to go elsewhere. Let's put that on... do I want to spread it around maybe a little bit? Might be easier to heal if I try and spread it a little. Let's put one of these on, I don't know, Raphael, I guess. Okay, so that's the end of the round, and now I'm going to take a bunch more damage. I'm going to be kind of careful about how I apply this. Somebody's going to get a weakened, somebody's going to get a venom. So we'll start with the burning eye. It does 3 damage and gives somebody a weakened. So let's put 3 damage on Gregory. And then I guess he gets the weakened as well. And then the elephant is going to do 6 damage somewhere. Let's put it all on Raphael. So that knocks him out. Then this eye is going to do 2 damage. Ooh, and a venom. Let's put on somebody who's going to get knocked out anyway then. Let's put it on Marco. I'll take the venom and 2 damage. I guess that's 5 total. Boy, I'm running out of characters. And then there's this enraged. That's going to do 5 damage. So let's have it hit Laurent. That's 2. And then 3 need to go somewhere else too. Jeez. I think let's go with Audrey on this one. Okay, that was rough. Now we take the blocks back. And let's see if we can get through this thing. So for round 2, I think it's going to be really important that Audrey gets a synergy token wherever she goes, because we're going to need to pass that along. So where can I have her hit for a synergy token? Yeah, not a lot of good options for that. Oh wait, Kanan can do 3 damage. Let's see, who's still in this thing? I've got Kanan. They're out. You're out. Oh boy. Yeah, that narrows things down. So I'm just looking at accuracy. There's no way that I should have Audrey attack the elephant, even though she can do so much damage. It doesn't make sense to have Gregory attack the elephant either. So it's either got to be Kanan or Mac. Mac only does 2 damage, so if she attacks the elephant, it's going to take her out. If Kanan attacks the elephant and hits it, he can take out the elephant, but he needs to draw a pretty decent number. You know what, I think I can have him do it though, and then he can give his synergy token to Audrey, so she gets a redraw. That could be useful. Well, you know what I might want to do? I might want to give this to Gregory, because he can place damage diagonally, and he's ranged. If he could do 3 damage instead of 2, that would be really helpful on this eye here. He could do 1, 2, 3. His synergy token is really useful right now. Probably be good to give that to Mac. So let's maybe do something like that. So yeah, first we're going to start with Kanan. Let's make sure he takes out this elephant. That's going to be crucial. So he's using his pistol. He's got 3 accuracy. He needs to draw a 4 or higher. We get a 3. Well, obviously a little disappointing, but I'm going to use a command token, get a couple more accuracy right here with the Amulet of the Fox. So now he's up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's enough. He does 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. Gets his synergy token and takes out the elephant, so he does not get counterattacked. That is pretty important. Okay, good job, Kanan. Good use of that crack shot. So, it might even, I got to pass the synergy token on. It might make sense to have Kanan go again at some point, though. Yeah, let's, he'll give this to Audrey. And we're having Audrey go next. And she's going to attack this enraged because she doesn't have a ranged weapon. So it's harder for her to hit these things. And if she hits this, she can take it out. So she needs to draw a 4 or higher to hit it. She draws a 6. Great. So she hits this thing. She does 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, stupidly though, now she won't get her synergy token. What was I thinking? I guess I wasn't thinking, but I've got to live with it now. I'm still going to take this thing out. I'm not going to try and, I could do like 1, 2, 3, 4 to get the synergy token. But that's not worth it. Then this thing's going to hit her back for 4. She'll be gone. We'll still need to hit it with another 3. That's a bad situation. So we'll take the 4. We'll knock out this enraged. It does not hit her back. That's really important. So I'm not still losing characters. But what do I want to do about this situation now? Well, a little risky, but I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to have Audrey go again, try and attack this burning eye. She's got that redraw if she needs it, because she's going to have to get to 6 plus 1 is 7, because that's not a ranged weapon. Oh man, I don't know if I like that plan. Yeah, it's much safer to go for this one. I'm going to have her hit this one. Even if she misses, she can hit here and give a synergy token to Kanan, who can then take this one out. Even though this one is going to do more damage in the counterattack phase, at least we won't be getting another Venom. I'd rather get another Weakened. So, all right, I'm going to have Audrey go. She's attacking this one. It's not a ranged weapon, so she needs to get to 5 accuracy. She has 1. We draw a 5. Okay, that's enough. Cool. So she's going to do 4 damage here. And since Kanan's going to take this one out anyway, because he's going to do 3 plus 1 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He'll be able to do that. She's going to hit the Venom part and the back, and that's what allows her to pass her synergy token. And then I'll do some splash damage over here on this blank spot, and then the back of this eye, just to cover up some of its health. So now she gets counterattacked for 2. She blocks 1, so she only takes 1 hit. So Audrey's still with us. We didn't even need to redraw. And now Kanan is going to attack. He's using his pistol with crack shot, so he's got an accuracy of 3, and it's a ranged weapon. So if he draws a 1, he'll hit this infested eye. Ooh, although he could take out the burning eye. I'd rather take that out because that does more damage, and it still has the weakness. I can cover that too. All right, Kanan's going to attack the burning eye. So he needs to get up to 6. He's at 3. He needs to draw at least a 3. He gets, a 6. Heck yes. Okay. Crack shot indeed. So he does 3. Plus 1, he does 4 damage. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That takes out this burning eye. Doesn't get to counterattack. That's great. Now the enemies attack back. It's just this infested eye. There's no effects. It's just going to do 2 damage somewhere. And we'll spread it out a little. We'll do that to Mac. Now I get the cubes back. All right. 3rd round. Man, this is a big combat. I knew it was big. This is real big. So I think it makes sense here to just have Kanan go. He's got a ranged weapon. He starts with 3 accuracy, only needs to get to 4. So we flip. Oh, come down here. Flip. He draws a 4. So he's got more than enough accuracy to do his 3 damage. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, and now it's not flying anymore. And now this is going to attack back. It's going to do 2 damage. He has 1 block, so he only takes 1 damage. And now we will have Mac finish it off. She's got 4 accuracy. She only needs to get to 4. It's not flying anymore, so it doesn't matter what she draws. She draws a 5. That's plenty. She does 2 damage. Place it on that heart. That takes out the infested eye, and it does not attack back. Combat is over. So, yikes! I really got pummeled. I got beaten up, huh? Grab this token. Wow, that was probably the most difficult combat I have ever played in this game. And I got the enjoyment of playing it 1.5 times thanks to that power outage. The last power outage I remember when recording was I was playing Button Shy, The Walking Dead Surrounded. So I was in the middle of a zombie game, and then I was in the dark in the basement. So that was its own little adventure. But man, yeah, I really beat up my crew pretty bad, but that's likely to be the hardest combat I ever encounter. So that took me, I don't know, over an hour in real time. I put a lot of thinking into that. Wow. Okay. Well, let's finally find out what we get for that. So we completed our combat. We turned to 77.4 in the book, and that reads, after a search for Thrusiana turns up nothing, you return to the Manticore, fire engines, and steam away. The few of Thrusiana's former crew that escaped can hardly speak. One of them, an old Alzarian, hands you a bag in silence. I think this belonged to Thrusiana, says Mac. I hope she's stuck in the place for good. After a few hours, one of the survivors thanks you. Thrusiana tricked us into coming down here. The elephant promised her power and riches if she brought more people. Can we stay with you until you port on the surface? I hope I can forget what happened. So now we gain 8 coins, which I better. That's going to be 2 full trips to the inn, plus 6 XP. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where am I? How much should I have? 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, wow. 11 XP. Can't wait to spend some of that. Give me just a second here. I'm sure I've got some other goodies. So I gain adventure card 125 and adventure card 103. Then I lose adventure card 126 through Sienna. Good riddance. There was a command token on her that just goes back to the supply. And I complete quest 212 Pachyderm. So I'll put that in my completed quest box. And yeah, if I ever do find Thrusiana again in a future playthrough, I'm going to rob her. I'm going to rob the heck out of her. All right, 125. Let's see what this adventure card is. It's a totem. We have Stone of Screaming. Move a damage token on an enemy card to an empty adjacent square. That is very interesting. This totem is for the sleeping god Zakra, who plays a primary role in Sleeping God's Primeval Peril. So I have never gotten this card before, of course, because I've never been on this page. So I'll mark that off my list in a second. Let's take a look at adventure card 103 here, which is... what is this? Ooh, the Tusk of Slovalul. So place a command token to do 2 damage. You know, I do not endorse taking the tusks of elephants, but this is a fantasy wandering world, and that elephant was kind of a jerk. So in this case, I'll take it. I'm excited for it. So, wow, that was a heck of an explore action. So let's get my sheets back out again. Stone of Screaming. RS, there it is. Yeah, and it's marked, Ruin, Tides of Ruin. That's a new one for me. Stone of Screaming. Yikes. And now we return to the ship, but I do have 1 command token left, and I think it would be a pretty good idea to cook a recipe while I'm exploring. So let's use the cookbook. I'm going to make grilled fish. Everybody likes grilled fish. Let's spend 1 meat. And let's see, I can remove a low morale. Does that do anything for me? No, nobody has a low morale. But even so, it's still going to be the cheapest recipe, so I'm still going to cook it. Okay, so 3 fatigue and then 3 health plus 2 here gets me to 4, 5. Marco's out right now, but if I give him 1 health, he'll be back in and I can probably get a 6th health. So I can recover 3, 4, 5 health. I'm going to give 1 to Marco. And now that he's active... this Baker ability is active, so I can get 6 health in total, and I've done 1, so I've got 5 more. Although with his Venom, I don't know if that's going to matter. But who's out? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do, 1 to Kasumi, 1 to Captain Odessa, 1 to Laurent, and 1 to Raphael, just so they're back in action. So I got to put some damage markers out. 4 for Kasumi, 4 for Laurent, and 4 for the captain. Okay, and I think I've got 1 more, right? Because I had 3, 4, 5, 6, and I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's do 1 more for, I guess for poor Raphael here. Okay, or Oh, you know what? I'm going to do one more for Marco because he's going to lose one with Venom anyway. Well, actually, that doesn't make any sense. We'll do Raphael. Okay. Sorry, Marco. If I had more command tokens, I would take care of the Venom, but I didn't have enough command for that. So here we are. This kind of makes me want to use the Gatestone to jump back to Isle of Souls and take a port action like a couple times. But I don't have the command right now. I've got one action left. There's nothing else to do here. So I think my second action, I'm going to travel. I'm not going to fatigue anyone. I'm just going to draw a card. We get a 6. So we can go up to 2 spaces. I'm going to go 1. I'm going to go right there and stop. And so that's a good place to explore on my next turn. Oh, and don't forget, because this was a long time ago, this event was still ongoing for this turn. So I drew a 6. We're going to subtract 2 from it, so that's down to 4. So that means I can still go up to 2 spaces. So we're still fine. And I can finally discard this event card from, I don't know, it feels like a year ago. I've only taken 3 turns so far this video, but it feels like 50. That combat really drained me, but luckily we've got the easy events. So you know what? Now seems like a pretty decent time starting the next round here. Take my ship action. It's a decent time to go to sickbay. I think I'll go there. So we can recover a health, though crucially, because of the Venom at the start of the turn, Marco loses a health, so Marco's out. We can recover 1 health, and then Gregory can heal 1 other crew member as well. So let's do 1 more for Raphael, get him from 5 to 4. And the second one, you know what? I'll do it for Marco. So he's at 4. I was, half joking, but kind of serious. Like if I go to the inn, I will spend 8 coins. Or if I go to port, I'll go to the inn twice. I'll spend 8 coins and get 4 health off everybody plus 2 fatigue each. So if I can keep everybody's, got no more than 4 damage right now. So that was the 2 health from sickbay. I also get 3 command. So here's my 3 command, but I'm going to spend 2 immediately on Gregory. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, okay, that's fine. The weakness only affects his skills. And then that removes the Venom from Marco. So I've got 1 command token remaining. Ooh, and then, I just forgot. Another vote for going to port is I've got all that XP I can spend. I don't know what I would get. I've got, I think, pretty much all the level cards I usually get. So it'd be great to get some more. And I could heal the ship. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff to do at the port. But okay, I've taken most of the ship action. I still need to draw an ability card, and we get this one, engaged, 5 strength. Ooh, gain 1 command token when you explore. It's that one. I want to keep this. I'm going to equip it. So what am I going to get rid of? I will get rid of probably this craft. I don't know that I need more craft. This one's got to get equipped though. Hate to take a 5 out of the deck, but that's a big one. So let's draw the next event card, and we get Zombie Merchant. I hope this is good. A half zombified woman sells wares in an ancient boat. So trade with her or bid farewell. If you trade with her, you may purchase any number of food tokens. Each set of 3 food tokens of any type costs 1 coin. If you trade, draw fate. If 1 to 3, gain a weakened. I think I'm doing okay on food. I don't think it's worth the risk. I'm going to just not do that because I've got a couple more weakened out there already. And you know what? Let's use this command token on my first aid kit to get rid of a weakened and heal a health. So there's that weakened off of Gregory because this reduces your skills, your stats. And so I want I want his stats to not be reduced because he's got my all my savvy. And then for the 1 health, you know what? We'll take it off Kanan because, boy, I really put him through a lot in the first half of this series. He was always knocked out and covered in tokens, so try and repay him now, especially, I told you, once he gets that crack shot, things really change. So we've done our event. Now we get 2 actions. My first action will be to explore. I wish I had another command token to do another recipe, but that's not the case. But we're going to explore R81 since we're over here. Although, man, before I do that, I am really stressed out about that being another combat. So I really want to check that out, but I want to go to port first. And I just don't have the command to use the Gatestone to get me back there quickly. Yeah, and what's the distance? I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, or I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I don't want to go around the top. I can only go 4 distance. I don't have any command for the Lucran steam engine. I can only do that if I draw a 9 or higher. If I use Audrey, I start at 4. So I need to draw 5 or higher. Otherwise, I won't make it all the way there. I guess I could travel twice. Oh boy, I need to go to port after that battle. What am I? I mean, that was the biggest battle I've ever had. I need to heal up. I'm traveling. So I will fatigue Audrey, but I would like to double back here. Maybe I can take the top route. There's a lot of stuff over here I haven't explored. So, all right. So that gets you up to 1, 2, plus 2 for her level card. So I'm at 4, and we draw a 3. So that gets me to a total of 7. So that's only enough to go 3 spaces. So I won't make it. And if I'm not going to make it anyway, I have an easier time with the savvy test than the strength test. So I'm going to go up top. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. This is where I stop. So let's fatigue Gregory. That gets us 3 savvy, so we only need to draw 2 or higher. We draw 3. Great. So no boat damage. And then I'm just going to travel again. And I won't fatigue anyone this time. Well, man, I'm planning on going to port and using the inn a couple times, so I might as well do some fatigues. I want to guarantee I get there. And I actually can't even guarantee it, though, because I can't put any more fatigue on Audrey. So I'm going to put 1 on Captain Odessa and 1 on Laurent. And can't use Raphael because he's got this weakness. And nobody else has any craft. So I'm at 2. I want to get at least to a 4. Let's not draw a 1, please. Oh, no. Well, I did the most I could to try and mitigate it. But here we are. It's a card I rather would have equipped. But our craft challenge only got us to 3, so we can only go 1 space. Yuck. That was a burned turn, wasn't it? So that just happens sometimes. Let's start the next turn. And I'm going to go to the bridge. As my ship action, let's take all the command off of these cards, off of Gregory. And then I gain, off this card, I gain 1, 2, 3 command. And I draw a new ability card. This one's a 5, and it's perception. I'm gonna throw this one back in the pile here. And I will spend 2 command now to equip engaged, and that's going to go to Marco. So now I get my extra command when I explore, and I'll spend this command on first aid kit again to get rid of this last weakened and recover 1 health from somebody. Doesn't really matter who. How about Raphael, since I've been beating him up so bad anyway. So I've spent all my command already. And now we draw an event card. We get Swimming Zarg. A Zarg rat clings to a burnt board floating in the sea. Trying to remember, are those the rats that I fought like in the first episode early in the game? Are those Zarg rats? I'm not sure. It says, take the rat to the next port. Draw fate. If 1 to 3 gain 1 low morale, keep this card next to the shipboard. You may discard this card to redraw fate, or you can leave the rat. So a free fate redraw for maybe a low morale. I'm not too worried about the low morale. I'll do it. I will take this card. So I'll just keep it down here with my other ongoing ones. Let's draw fate like it said. And yeah, we get a 2. So this will give us a low morale. Somebody's going to have to pay 1 command to participate in a challenge. And that's probably going to go to Raphael because I'm not really using him from challenges. So there you go. And now I've got a free fate redraw at some point. And now I'm going to take a couple actions. First action will be to travel. And I'm not fatiguing anyone. I'm drawing a card. We get a 2. That's fine. Because now 2 means you can travel up to 1 space. I'm going to Isle of Souls. And for my second action, I am going to the port. So I'm going to go to the inn twice, as I said I would. So that's 8 coins. 5, 6, 7, 8. And so I can heal 4 health off of every character. And 2 fatigue. So I should have counted it up, but that was a ton of health. Let's also repair the ship. I've got 3 materials here. So I'm going to repair the bridge, the deck, and 1 of the 2 in the galley. And then I'd like to do some leveling up as well. So I've got 11 XP to spend. Distract. When Audrey hits an enemy, she may make it swap positions with an adjacent enemy. That's for 4. Power block. Audrey's second crew board ability gives +1 block. Won't be that. Gregory, stabilize. At the end of combat, restore 1 health to any crew members with 0 health. Ooh, that would have been helpful a minute ago. That's pretty good for 6. Kanan. Kanan may place pistol damage diagonally. That would be very helpful. Kasumi has counter. If Kasumi misses, +1 damage. So she can do 2 damage when she misses. Talented is perception. Kasumi can have up to 3 ability cards equipped. I haven't been equipping that many cards though. The captain can get endurance. Captain Odessa may have up to 3 fatigue tokens. The third has no negative effect. Tough as nails. Restore 1 health to captain when captain activates a synergy token. Oh, that's pretty cool. Laurent Watchful, you may draw an extra search token when you use the deck. Ignore damage on the token, if any. I don't use the deck very much. Rare Catch, when you use Laurent's first crew board ability. I never use that. Draw Fate, you can potentially get more meat. Survivor for Mac, 1 strength. It gives her a block during the end of round enemy attack. Swordmaster, +1 accuracy and block with the saber. That's super strong. So she'd have 5 accuracy and a block now. I like that. World Lore. Once per challenge, Mac can take 1 damage to redraw Fate. That's super interesting too. Marco's got Inventive Chef. When any player cooks a recipe, they may substitute 1 ingredient for another. Hope. Remove 1 low morale from a crew member when you use the deck. I don't use the deck. Brawling. When Raphael draws 5 or more fate during attack, deal +1 damage and gain a block. Raphael Protect. Raphael can take 1 damage to give another crew member 1 block. And Group Tactics. When Raphael places splash damage, only 1 of the damage needs to be placed on the targeted enemy. That sounds good, but he only does 2 damage by default, so he would have to have a weapon to make much use of that. All right, so I've got 11 to spend. How am I going to do it? I think I'm going to do this one for Audrey and this one for Mac. I guess I can put these on the other screen, because not only can I afford them both, but that gives me a perception and a cunning, and those are both things that I could really use. I don't have really any perception or cunning to speak of. So this will go to Mac. So she's got 2 cunning now. This will go to Audrey. She's got 2 perception. Although Audrey's a little bit less reliable on being able to use fatigue because, I obviously use her to travel. But I think that's helpful. So Audrey, I've been using her to attack a lot ever since she got that Myth and Axe. So now she can swap cards around too. That could be super useful. And Mac gets a block, which is really good for her. And +1 accuracy is just out of control. So I'll cross off my 11 XP here. But yeah, if Mac can ever do that with some synergy tokens, do some extra damage, that would be really great. So I'll probably put that to use. All right, I'm out of XP again, but that was kind of cool. And that is the end of another turn. How many turns have I got left here? Just 1, but I am out of time because that took me forever so far. So I'm going to come back, finish up this video in just a minute. Stick with me. Well, it'll be more like a few hours, but stick with me. Okay, I am back 5 hours later to take 1 more turn, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with just 1 turn. I could explore R99 here. This is the one part in this area I have not explored yet. Or I was thinking I could try and travel and get back to here. If I travel and I fatigue Audrey, then I'll be starting with 4 for my craft challenge. I'm trying to get up to 9 ideally, just so I don't have to deal with the hazard. But even if I don't deal with the hazard, I can probably handle the hazard. I'm not that worried about it. But let's see, 0 to 3, I'd be at 4, 5, 6. If I get at least a 7, then I can move 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3. And I could use the Lucrin steam engine to get another 2 spaces to get back to R81 and do that exploration before I wrap up this video. Because I've done this one, and this one. And I did kind of want to work my way back, over here. So maybe what I'll plan on doing is just fatiguing Audrey to do a travel action, and depending on what I draw for fate for that craft test, that'll determine kind of how far I can get and whether or not it makes sense to use the Lucrin steam engine. And once I see that number, then I'll decide where I'll move the ship and what to explore. So I think I'll do a travel and an explore. And if I can, I'll go all the way back here. But if I can't, I'll pick another spot. So, okay, that's what we're doing. Where am I going to take my ship action? Probably quarters or sick bay. I could go to the deck. I'm pretty sure that next token is a couple of food still. I think the one after that has some damage, but I think the next one is still clean, because I was able to set that stack a few videos ago. But then I would only get 2 command. It's not like I'm hurting for the food, and I'd rather get 3 command. So again, that's going to be quarters or sick bay. Either way, I get 1 ability card, I get 3 command, and then sick bay, I would get health. That's wasted. Quarters, I can at least remove the 1 command token from the first aid kit. So I guess that is slightly better. So I'll go to quarters. So I can remove up to 2 command tokens. There's 1, and I don't have any others placed. So now I gain 3. So there's the 1 I removed, plus 2 more. That's 3 command tokens. And then I draw an ability card. Whoopsie. And it's I've got this down here, don't I? It's a 5. It is a cunning icon. And when you use the quarters, you can remove a low morale. That's kind of cool. That would have gotten this low morale for Raphael right now if I'd had that equipped. But it's a 5. I don't think it's worth it to take that out of the stack. I want the low numbers to get out of here. So that was my ship action. Let's draw the event. And we have Lost Sailor. You rescue a Lucran sailor who is floating on a piece of driftwood. Ongoing. Keep this card next to the shipboard. Discard this card when you visit a port. While you have this card, once per turn, you may redraw fate. Once per turn, wow. That reminds me, though, so we're going to keep this. I forgot that this one here, take the rat to the next port. I've already been to port. Now, interestingly, let me put these side by side. The new one says discard this card when you visit a port. This one doesn't say that. So even though I've been to port, there's no direction on this first card that I need to get rid of the card now. So I think I'm going to hold on to it, and I can use it to redraw fate. I think I'm doing that right. It would specify, apparently, to get rid of it if that was the case. So we've had our event. Now I'm going to take a travel action. So that'll be my first action of the turn. I'm going to travel. I will fatigue Audrey. I would really love to get some of those low number craft ability cards equipped to her, like this one here, this refined one that I just missed out on. But all right, that puts us at 4 craft. Now I need to draw fate. We get 2. That's not really what I want. That only gets me to 6 fate. That's 2 movement. So let's use this this event card we were just looking at. We will discard this card to redraw fate. So let's discard Swimming Zarg, and we'll draw again. We get 3. So that means 4 craft, because she's got 2, plus her level card gives her another 2, plus the 3. So that's 7, which means we can move up to 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. And I can use the steam engine to get 2 more movement. So we're going to go all the way over here. Let's go sailor boat away from the Port of Souls. 1, 2. We need to pause to navigate around these rocks. And you know what? The ship's in good shape. I might not worry about that test right now. I'm just going to draw. I'm not going to fatigue anyone. We get a 3. Okay, so we're going to take 1 ship damage. Let's see where it goes. It goes to section 1. That is the hull. Would have liked to have equipped this card to Audrey. Man, a lot of low cards I'm missing now. Okay, so 1 ship damage to the hull. That's fine. That's kind of the freebie space. And at least if I had to draw 1, I don't mind drawing it for that. So we took a ship damage. That was our second move, and here's our third. And then we can use the steam engine to keep going. So let's, where is it? When you take the travel action, add 2 to the distance. 1, 2. Okay, so we are back at R81, but now we're healed up. So we're sailing all over the underworld. But for our second action, let's go ahead and explore. And with engaged equip, gain 1 command when you explore. So let's gain a command and turn to the booklet now for R81. So this says, if keyword Merc, turn to R81.2. And we do have Merc. That is the one for Sancha's father. So let's take a closer look at that as a reminder. But we picked this up at the end of the last video. Sancha's father. We met a ghost girl in the Isle of Souls and invited her to come with us to look for her father. Her father, still alive, is looking for her in a boat headed east. So I think we have found her father's boat. So we turn to the next paragraph, which reads, a little boat floats beneath the shadow of the tower, the dark waters churning. Sancha appears next to you, her open face wound more visible and disturbing than ever. Father! The man in the boat turns, surprised to see the manticore and his ghostly daughter on board. Suddenly, the water churns below the man's boat. Combat. Okay. We're going into combat again. This is going to be a level 18 combat, so still very high, but not as high as the last one. So we've got cards 7, 52, and 53. We're going to shuffle these up. Yeah, I'm glad I stopped and healed up first. It kind of dawned on me that, the farther you get from the starting page on the atlas, generally the harder the game gets. That's the way it works. And the Tides of Ruin pages are on the edges. So those are probably the hardest pages. And this one being so difficult to get to, I'm sure there's probably a way to get here without the Gatestone, but I use the Gatestone. But this being the Underworld is probably the most difficult map page in the whole game. So there's probably lots of really, really hard combat. So that was kind of what pushed me to go back to port and not go exploring with a bunch of really injured crew. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, and 3. Look at this. Squid Titan arms, a Zavrian serpent, and Squid Titan eyes. Oh, those eyes look real bad. And so at the Captain's Plan Ahead level card, I get 2 command at the start of combat. This one looks like it's going to be real difficult. Let's get all my tokens and such. Okay. But with Mac's new Swordmaster ability, she's going to be something to reckon with this time too. Okay. What are we going to do here? A lot of big combat. Guess I'm making this last turn count, huh? So yeah, let me zoom in on this one. So a lot going on here. It doesn't have a ton of health, but it has first strike, and it has 2 end of round adjacent enemies deal +2 damage. I need to get those covered. So that's a lot. Luckily, the only other end of round effect that I need to pay attention to is just on this center one here. It's got 1 venom, and I really don't want venom. The arms are the ones that are going to do a lot of damage, but pretty high defense all around, 5, 6, and 7. At least nothing is flying, but I think I'm probably going to want to have somebody with good aim hit this serpent and do some sort of splash damage to take out this first strike. I do not want to go after those Squid Titan eyes and get hit first. And then the serpent, even though it's got all this defense, it doesn't attack super hard. If I can cover up that venom and ideally that damage too, but certainly the venom, if I can cover up that venom, then I'm not too worried. I can deal with this one last. I need to take out first strike, and I guess these adjacent 2 damages are pretty deadly too. But then all the damage is going to come from Squid Titan arms. But this one's it's got the lowest defense, and it's only got 6 health. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's all adjacent. That's something that I could have Captain Odessa or Audrey one-shot if they have a couple of synergy tokens, like especially the Captain. If she can get Kasumi and Audrey's tokens, she can one-shot those Squid Titan arms. So what I might want to do is start with Kasumi. She's got 4 accuracy, so she's got a decent chance of hitting this serpent. And if she does 3 damage, cover the venom, the heart, and the first strike as a splash damage. It'll cover 2 synergy token spaces. She'll give 1 to Captain Odessa. Then I'd want Audrey to go. And she's only got 1 accuracy, and I would want her to hit the Squid Titan eyes, which is asking a lot. But assuming she can get a hit in, she can do 1, 2, 3, 4 damage, cover that whole middle section. That'll get her synergy token and take care of that adjacent extra damage. So she can give her synergy to Captain Odessa, who can then one-shot the Squid Titan arms. And then I would still be able to do 1 more damage, or 1 more attack somewhere. Oh, but you know what I could do? I could have Marco go first, believe it or not, and attack, I guess, anybody. But if he can get this synergy, if he can get his synergy token out, let's see, is there a place he could do that? Not really. But if he can give his synergy token to somebody, then they could do 2 damage, just not to health, and they could attack the Squid Titan eyes and get the top and bottom. And he could, if he could give it to Audrey somehow, she could attack 1, 2, 3, 4, and use the token to hit these 2 spaces. But he only does 1 damage. The only places I could cover wouldn't allow me to do the other things I said, so maybe I should just get off of that. But I could have maybe Mac go earlier. If she could give her synergy token to Audrey, that would make me feel better. So she could attack this serpent in the middle, Zavrian serpent, do 2 damage, just cover that 1 heart up there in the top left corner, and that would allow her to give her synergy token to Audrey. That would be good. And then end with the Captain. I like that plan. That seems pretty good. I've got some command to help me out. So let's start with Kasumi. She is going to attack the Zavrian Serpent. She needs to get to 7 defense. She's got 4 accuracy, so she needs to draw at least a 3. Oh, a 2. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use this card, this Lost Sailor. Discard this card when you visit a port. While you have this card, once per turn, you may redraw Fate. So once per turn, I'm going to go ahead and mark it with a boat damage cube to show that I've done it. I'm going to redraw Fate. Let's draw again. A 1, come on. What is happening? So that brings me up to 5 accuracy. Do I want to draw again? Or do I want to use one of these things? Since it's a 1, I'm going to just have Kasumi draw again. Not off to a good start. 4, okay, that's better. So that gets her up to 8 accuracy. She can hit the serpent and do 3 damage. So we'll cover the venom. We'll cover this heart, which gets us a synergy. We'll splash damage, first strike. And we will give this to Captain Odessa. And then the serpent will attack back at 1, 2, 3. Kasumi doesn't have any block, and I will take the 3 damage because I want to hold on to my command tokens for either redrawing Fate. I've got a couple ways to do that, or for accuracy. I think that's going to be more important. Ooh, though I did forget about this tusk of Slovolol from the elephant tusk. Feels a little risky, but I am going to use command to do 2 damage. I'll just add that onto Kasumi's retroactively. So I'll cover this heart and this 1 damage, which means that this only would have attacked back at 2, not 3. So I'll take that back. That's looking pretty good because my plan is now to have Mac hit the serpent right there, and then I can take out the serpent who's got the highest defense with splash damage when I hit the Squid Titan Eyes. And what would be really cool, because I'm going to have Mac do this, I'm going to have Audrey do this, and then the captain take out the arms is the plan. I've only got 2 commands, so it's a little ambitious. But that means next round, I could potentially take out the eyes and the serpent in one shot, take out 2 cards. That would be super cool. I don't know if it's the best idea strategically, but it seems really epic. And I've got this Stone of Screaming too. I could do some interesting stuff with that, but I don't have enough command. I don't want to mess with it. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to have Mac attack this serpent as well. She also has 4 accuracy, so she needs to draw at least a 3 to get a hit. And oh man, what is happening? I draw a 2. That is not good. 4, 5, 6. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot about Swordmaster. Thank goodness. 4, 5, 6, 7. She does have enough because she's using her saber and she will block. Whew, that was close. Okay, so she gets to place 2 damage. She's going to put it here on the serpent's head, and that gives her a one of these tokens whose name I can never remember when I need to remember it. And I was going to give this, I believe, to Audrey, so that hopefully I don't need to use a command token for her to get a hit on the Squid Titan Eyes. And now the serpent is going to hit Mac back. It does 2 damage. She has 1 block with her saber, so she only takes 1 hit. That's really great for Mac. So now it's time for Audrey to hit the Squid Titan Eyes. And so she's got 1 accuracy, so she needs to draw a 5 or higher. But with the +2 accuracy, she only needs to draw a 3 or higher. So let's hope our luck turns around with these Fate cards. We get a 5. Okay. So I didn't even need to use the token. I'll hold on to the token then. I might want it. So I've got 6 accuracy. That's enough. I get to do 4 damage. Things are coming together. So I'm going to do 1, 2 here. So that gets her synergy token. I'll give it to the captain. And then 1 here and 1 here. And now the Squid Titan Eyes attack back for 3, 4, 5, which is a big hit. She only blocks 1. So she's got 4 hits. Okay, I am looking like I'm in good shape now. I am going to have the captain attack the Squid Titan arms. So she's got 1 accuracy. She needs to get up to 5. So she needs to draw a 4 or higher. And I do have a couple command just in case. We draw a 4. Nice. So that's 5 total. That's enough. We're going to do 4 damage and spend these 2 tokens to do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So she takes out the Squid Titan arms in 1 shot. That's really cool. She did get a synergy token, so I'm going to give that to somebody. The Squid Titan arms do not attack back because I took them out. And it doesn't really look like I'm in a position here for any diagonal hits to do anything of use. So I'll give this synergy token to Kasumi, but I don't really intend to use it. I don't think it's going to do anything. So we're at the end of the round now. We're going to take these 4 cubes back. And now we're going to get attacked first for 2 and then for 5. And I'll go ahead and attack the people who are not really participating. How about Laurent for 2 and Raphael for 5? Because he's got the extra health. So now we go into the next round, and I think this will be okay. So I want to do 3 damage, and I want to do that a couple times. So I'm going to start with Kanan now. So he's got 3 accuracy with his pistol. So he's going to attack the Squid Titan Eyes. He needs to draw at least a 3. And he draws a 3. Perfect. So that's 6. He's got enough. He's going to do 3 damage. He's going to go right down the side here. I, and I. So he hit it 3 times, and now it's going to attack back for 4. He's got 1 block, so he would take 3 hits. I think, though, since I'm kind of at the end here, I'm going to use a command token to use the Pan Shield, and you know what? I can use the Thrax Charm. I'll block 4, so he's not going to take any hit, but he does gain a fatigue. That's fine. Because I still have 1 command left, I'll do a recipe and we'll be in good shape. So finally, I'm going to have Kasumi attack the Squid Titan Eyes. She's got 4 accuracy. She needs to get to 6. Let's draw at least a 2. A 3. Perfect. That was the last card in the deck too, so I'm going to have to shuffle these. So she's got 7 total, so she can do a hit. She's going to do 3 damage. She's going to put 1, 2 here, 1 splash damage, and that is going to take out both of them. So that's a pretty cool slice with her twin daggers against the Squid Titan Eyes and the Zavrian Serpent. So we've taken them out. We won the combat. That we took some damage, but that could have been a lot worse. So it's definitely, easier than the elephant. So, there's that. I think after that elephant, everything is going to feel a little bit easier combat-wise. So let's continue with the story. So the combat over, we turn to the next paragraph, which reads, Sancha descends to her father's boat. Father, why didn't you recognize me before? Do you not know your own daughter? Sancha's father wipes tears from his eyes. I knew it was you. I just couldn't accept it. My mind fed me a lie that you were out here somewhere, alive and waiting for me to rescue you. Sancha thanks you for helping her. I will stay with him from now on. I can help him back to the surface. Sancha's father bids farewell, giving you a strange lantern with a totem in the center. So we gain 6 coins and 1 meat. I assume that is like from the serpent or something. We're going to be eating serpent eyes. We've got a lot of coins. We've got 17 coins. And we gain 4 XP. I'm not going to say no to that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. And we complete quest 209. That's not unexpected. And then we gain adventure card 122. So let's see what's on this. This is the lantern. Ignore one enemy's counterattack. That's pretty cool. The Shadow Lantern. This is Zakra's totem as well. So definitely a new one to me. I'll place it here. And let's mark it. So let's go to the list. And here's the Shadow Lantern with ruins. And another new to me totem. Shadow Lantern. Look at this playthrough. Look at all this new stuff I'm getting. This is super cool. Now, surprisingly, the booklet does not tell me to lose Sancha the Ghost as a passenger. She said she would stay with her father and help him return to the surface. Maybe ghosts have different rules. I think it's a rules oversight, though, if I had to guess. But it doesn't say to get rid of her, so I'm just going to keep her. I don't mind. I like having her around. She's helpful. So the last thing I'm going to do before we return to the ship is I'm going to cook a recipe while we're exploring using my Elzarian cookbook. Let's just use that meat that I just gained. We want to eat those Squid Titan eyes before they get cold while they're still fresh. So we are cooking grilled fish. That means I can remove 3 fatigue. I've only got 2. And I can remove a low morale. I do have a low morale. Cool. And I can gain 3 health plus 4, 5, 6. And I have 14 damage right now. But I think I really need the folks here on the left flank. I'm going to take 3 from Audrey, 2 for Kasumi, and 1 for Mac. So that's my 6 health. morale, and a couple of fatigue. So that is going to be it for this turn, and that was 6 turns this video, so that's the end of this round. So we'll be going to the perilous events in my next video, and I'll be starting right here. So I think what I'll try and do next time is kind of work my way back a little bit. I'll do some traveling, explore what I can, and then I think at the end of next video, I'm getting the heck out of here. This is not where I want to end the game, because it's a pretty perilous place. I don't want to be getting the deadly events while I'm in the underworld. That kind of frightens me. So I'll explore what I can, and then we'll get out and we'll find somewhere else to go look around before the game is over. Because I suspect there are 2 videos left to get through this 3rd act. Yeah, I'm finding this stuff to be super cool. I'm excited that we found a couple of totems here. That feels really good. We also completed the 2 quests that we picked up at the end of last time, so that's fun. I don't have any new quests actually on this page, but I bet between all these places I can find something. And then I will need to shuffle up this deck and have it ready next time. And I've really got to do some work to get some of these low number cards out of there. I keep threatening to use Gloria's ability. I just need to follow through on that and mean it. But yeah, this has been awesome. I hope you're having a great time. I've loved it every time I've played Sleeping Gods, and this is not disappointing. So why don't you let me know in the comments, where should I aim to go when I do leave these Atlas pages? Would you like me to go back to Alzeria, because that was kind of the area we were exploring. It was a big city with a lot going on. Or would you like me to jump to somewhere totally different? Let me know if there's a specific place. Where do you want to see before this series is over, assuming that it goes a little bit longer, because I am just like 1 combat loss away from being at the finale. And then while you're leaving that comment, don't forget, leave a like on this video, share it with somebody else who might enjoy it. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that. You can also like this video over on Board Game Geek. I'll put this one on the Tides of Ruin page. While you're there, you can get a Table for One micro badge. That would be cool. And don't forget to head over to my coffee page. Like all the fine people who are listed here on the screen, the reserved seating at Table for One is for my monthly subscribers, because on Coffee you can make a donation one time or you can have it recurring, and in either case you set the amount. And then the Head of the Table award is for the top 10 contributors over the last 90 days. So thank you to everyone who supported Table for One on Coffee for making series like this possible. I really appreciate it. And I'm having a great time. I hope you are too. Thank you so much for watching Table for One, and I will see you in the next video.